Welcome to Clear Vision Wednesday. This is the last Clear Vision Wednesday of the year. I am Claudia Mühlenweg, your host, and I'm a natural vision improvement teacher, creator of the Natural Clear Vision Method. And if you are interested in natural vision improvement, then make sure to subscribe to this channel, click the little bell that you get notified. Usually, except for the rest of the year, we go live every single Wednesday, and many times I have amazing guests. And that is no different today. In fact, she was on my channel before. Judith Bolz is a German vision educator. She's actually one of the most foremost or most popular vision teachers in Germany. And she's also trained in NLP. She's a hypnotherapist, and she's just amazing in the kind of deeper work with vision improvement. So Judith, welcome to the show. Let me bring you on.
Thank you, Claudia. Nice to be here.
I'm so happy to have you back. And I know for you, it's late. You're in Germany, where I'm flying to tomorrow. It's in the evening. So you're really, really specialized in that whole like subconscious, the emotional world and the feelings. And that's why our topic today is befriend the blur to start seeing clearly, like kind of confronting in a soft way, the blurry vision. So you want to tell us a little bit about that topic and why you chose that topic, especially for nearsightedness, right? That's our focus, the myopia.
Yes. The reason is that I was in holidays for a month on the Canarian Island. It was a really nice time. And there I get this theme. I thought, I will do this in the podcast with Claudia, because it was so interesting. I was a month, I stayed on this island, and I celebrated my birthday, and I had lots of people with me and a good time. And 5 days before I want to go home, I lost my glasses. So I still have glasses because I had in former times very complicated eyes, and I made big steps and I see a lot, but in far distance, I like to have my glasses with me. And I am very used to have it with me, but don't put it on, but I have it with me. So, and on this island, it's far away from home. I lost my glasses, and I didn't have another pair with me, a pair of glasses. And when I recognized that this glasses will not come back to me, what usually happens, I lost it and it comes back, I thought, oh my God. And it was really interesting, because lots of emotions comes up. It was like, oh my God, a little panic. How can I come home? Because I had a way to make with a bus, with a ferry, with a flight, and I have to see all the signs. And this is really difficult for me. So I thought, oh my God, what can I do? And first a little panic, then sadness, then helplessness, and then there were lots of people around me, my friends, and they want to help me. And they said, oh, you do this, we help you. And I said, no. And I went home, and I want to be alone and think about it. And I thought, this is very short-sighted. It's a long time ago that I had such feelings. And yes, and my friends, this was really interesting. They all want to help me, because they said, it's my God, what can you do? It was more for them than for me. One person said to me, if I don't wear my glasses, I'm handicapped, or I can't do anything. So I was also confronted with all the fears of my friends. And I thought, this is a really interesting theme, the blur vision. What can we do if we only have the blur vision? And then I thought, okay, Gomera is a healing island, and everybody gets his challenge. And this is now my challenge. And maybe it's therefore that I understand, I'm 30 years vision trainer, that I understand my pupils a little better when they put the first time the glasses, on the head, and there is no only blur vision. And this is really, really difficult for short-sighted people, because or nearsighted, the far-sighted people, they still have the overview. Yeah, they can't see close things, but they have the overview. They are orientated. But the short-sighted people, maybe people with high myopic, they are very disorientated in this moment, and this makes lots of feelings. On the other hand, I think if we are without glasses, we are very poor. So that's me. That's me, and all the feelings I feel, they are very interesting. So my invitation today is to be with these feelings, and that's the same with me on the island. I said, okay, I take the challenge. Now I go without glasses, and I will come home, whatever. Also, blind people come home. So, and this was a really interesting time for me because I invited the blur vision. I don't have so much. It is a really nice island with lots of light, but I went alone for walks, hiking and all these things without glasses, and that was not the problem. The more I let come the feelings, I was surprised about so many feelings of yes, sadness, also anger, but also rage. Everything was there, and I thought, okay, come, I will take it. And after a while, 3 days, I get calmer and calmer, and I see better and better. And when I now came home and I want to talk with you about that, I thought Jacob Lieberman, he wrote in his book about that. And then I searched and it's on the page 57 in the German book. There he writes about that. And it was extremely the same what my experience was. He said he was working with children in former times, and he was very short-sighted. And when he has a break, he sit down, and make a meditation. And in the meditation, all without glasses. The first thing was, I forgot to tell, he always took the glasses and put it on his nose, but he didn't recognize that. And he thought, oh no, I have my glasses again on my head. And then he said it was like to be addicted to these glasses. And if he not has these glasses on his nose, all feelings come up, and very uncomfortable feelings like, I don't feel good, I feel helplessness, and all these feelings I told about. And if he put back his glasses, all the feelings gone. And he wrote this in his book. Very interesting. And therefore he said, okay, I'm a little addicted to these glasses. And that was the same with me. I always had my glasses in my pocket. I don't use it so much, but it was always the grab, oh, my glasses, it's not here. And I thought it's like a little bit to be addicted, like people to cell phones, maybe. And
I mean, it's
yes,
also
very interesting.
That is super interesting, and it reminds me like a safety net, right? Like the trapeze artists, in the circus, they know they can do it, but it's just there just in case. So it's like that, because I know you were like a -5 diopters and you couldn't see anything, and so you've gone. It's just that last little bit, that little bit of a safety net to like, oh, just in case I need to see something.
Yes.
And it's so interesting what you said, because obviously my story is the other way around. I was farsighted, and we always had that overview, but we couldn't deal with, like, if you were to give me a bus schedule, I'm like, I can't. I'm a bus driver. When is the next bus going? Because I couldn't small print back in the day, right? So very interesting. And I love what you talked about, that idea that it's almost an addiction, or it's like you can't quite let go of that little bit, right? And that's interesting how we as vision teachers sometimes get those things thrown at us, kind of, where are your own blind spots, and because, we all have blind spots to a certain degree. So, okay, so you talk about anger, rage, sadness, maybe some fear or worry about what to do. So now, before we get into the more experiential thing today, like, what has happened since, right? What happened when you got back? I'm really curious.
when I got back to Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first the classes come back. It was special the the third day when I thought it's equal. I don't need it anymore. Then the classes come back, and it was
Oh,
not
you
broken.
got them
Everything
back.
was fine. Yes, so
Oh,
the way back was very, very easy. But I thought I have to be more without classes. That was my message I got. So to be or to go out without classes, not take them with me when I make a walk or something, to go without. This was the message I got. But yes, it was an easy way back.
and I mean, this is a great message. Though it's funny how they came back. Without talking too much about B, but my last story, I had classes too for driving mostly, and mostly at night. At that point, at the end, it was
Yes.
mostly at night. And I had my car, I got rear-ended. That was not my fault. And I had a rental car, and then I had to return the rental car, and I left them in the rental car. And by the time I realized that the glasses were in the car, they said, "Oh, that car is now in somewhere, I don't know, some other state." And I'm like, okay, so this is clearly a message for me to kind of get really, because there was like that last little bit that was not working, and
Yeah.
so it was a message for me, and that actually made me never go get new glasses again. So are you not using them anymore, or did they sneak their way back in?
Yes, it was a really hard change. I want not to use it, but it was a really hard change from a very light island to a very dark, wet here, Germany. So it was really not possible. I have to drive with it in the night. It's for sure. Everybody should do this who is in the podcast.
Driving is
But
important, right? For driving, we want to make sure. Driving is the one thing where I say, this is not your comfort level, how you feel. Driving is driving is a total security thing, and that's absolutely no way. So that's 100% sure. So,
yes.
well, yeah.
But what's the interesting thing is that we can, yes, what I want to say today is, if you struggle with your goal to get more clearness, or if it's difficult to go forward in your process of clear vision, sometimes people forget to welcome the blurriness, because I think this is the first step. Everything what is okay, is fine, and you don't have to hide it. Because I often watch people, if they put off their glasses, it's like, oh, what's that? I don't like that. I make some, and then I take back the glasses. So to invite the blurriness and to say, welcome, that's me. And there are feelings, and these feelings are very good feelings, equal which feelings they are. So for me, it was really good to feel my rage. It was like, wow, I'm so. It was a really good experience, and I thought maybe sometimes I don't give enough space for my feelings, because all the feelings are fine. So if you say welcome, oh, that was like I handle it. When all these feelings came, I said, oh, there's anger. Oh, wow. Oh, what's that? There's sadness. Okay. And I was always surprised what feelings comes up, but I welcomed them and I embraced them. And then some days later, it was the second day, I think, I see very clearly. And I thought this is a big possibility to go with the blurry vision. And I compare it with the weather. So when the weather in Germany is very bad, it's gray, it's wet, it's rainy, it's cold. On the Canarian Island, it's sunny and warm. I could say now it's shit weather, and I want to have it warm, I want to have it dry, I want to have it sunny. No, it's not possible. The weather is like it is. And for me, the blurry vision is the same. The blurry vision is there. You can't hide that. You can't put that away. I think if you make your trainings, and if you are interested and a little bit curious to the blur vision, then it gets slowly away, but not if you don't want to have it. And this is something which is very interesting.
So the first step is really, like you talked about, welcoming it, which I love. But maybe to me, when I wasn't necessarily ready to welcome it, but I could start by accepting it. Okay, this is what you said with the weather. It is what it is. The weather is not great, and I will accept it and make the best of it. And then maybe as a second layer, for me at least, there's a welcoming, like what is the rain telling me? What is the darkness telling me? What, right? So I totally love that, instead of like fighting it, because the more we fight the blur, the stronger it will be, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So tell, like, I know you have something prepared for us, but I also don't want to jump ahead. Is the process, like, say somebody, you talked about Jacob, how he described about taking the glasses off, and he didn't quite feel like himself until he had them on. And to me, that was kind of a similar experience back in the day, but I also didn't like glasses. So I kind of had that incentive. Like, I wanted to be the true me without the glasses. And it's funny, I've never seen you with glasses. I had no, I mean, we met many times at conferences. I didn't even know you still wear them for distance. So it's so interesting.
Me, yes.
Like,
yeah, Jacob. Me? Yes,
Yeah.
sure. Yes. Yes, I don't like glasses. That's true. But sometimes if I in a space where I don't know, or it's not familiar to me, so sometimes I need it. Or when I want to be fast, yeah, I have to be fast, and I have to see tack 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 tack. So this is the next really interesting theme. It has something to do with the own rhythm. I think seeing clearly has lots to do with your own rhythm. I remembered, sometimes I write a little bit, so biography writing. And when I was a child, I was always the youngest. And I have to go in the kindergarten too early, to school too early. I was too young. In church too early. I always went with my sisters and cousins, and they went to parties. For me, that was too early. So everything was too early, and I think my eyes, maybe they couldn't handle that. And this was is maybe the reason why I am short-sighted. So it was not my rhythm. Everything was too fast. Yeah, and I have to be fast. I put on my glasses. That's really interesting,
right? That is interesting. The connection between like being productive and allowing yourself to maybe be slower without glasses, right? If something needs to be clear, you are slower. You can't rush and run and catch the bus, or you would be on the wrong bus. So I'm curious about, you said something earlier, I still need the glasses, is because we know, right, as teachers, that we relaxation is really the way to improve your vision, being in a relaxed state. And we cannot be relaxed unless we're in the rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system state, like we feel, and that means we have to feel safe. So as long as we don't feel safe, there's always that inner guard, right? That kind of fear. And I'm wondering what your experience was with that when you were on the island, versus now being back in Germany and doing things versus being on vacation. Is there more of a kind of a being on guard, or having to feel like you have to be fast compared to when you allowed yourself to be on that vacation?
Yes, sure. On vacation, you have much more time. And this time I had really vacation. Normally I work also, but this time I said I need a month, a break. And sure, you have much more time for everything. But it was really okay in Germany, because we have the time before Christmas is a little bit less than all the other months. So
So what tips can you give? So for like, I would love to kind of hear like what process. I know we have a meditation that you want to guide us through, but like basically, so you said taking the glasses off,
Yes.
coming and maybe then sit with it, so to speak, like
Yes.
sit with feelings. Okay.
Yeah, and look around. I would make it later in a praxis, but look around, take your time, welcome the blurriness, welcome what you see, see the colors, see the unshaped forms, blink and all this stuff, but also feel what comes up. Are you comfortable or is it not so comfortable? How is your mood? This is a very good exercise always to feel your feelings, because I think, I don't know how it is with far-sighted people, but short-sighted or near-sighted people, either they cover their feelings, so they have a lot, but they don't like to make them public. So they don't talk about about uncomfortable feelings. They don't talk about in public, or they hold it back. So they don't feel well, but they don't talk about it. I know that very much when I was a teenager. It was so heavy for me to talk about feelings. And today I think sometimes it's good to hold in for a while, settle down, breathe, and feel how you feel.
Yeah, I think that's also the German culture is not exactly helpful to expressing feelings. We're not generally like a touchy-feely society in Germany anyway, so that doesn't help.
You are better in America? Are you better?
I mean, I cannot speak for myself because I'm not nearsighted, so I don't know how that feels, but I do feel it's hard. We can't debate about, I mean, I work with like, thousands of people like you did, and I definitely see more of an outspokenness kind of going forward in far-sighted people, and more of a gentleness to nearsighted people. However, I cannot say that, let's say on coaching calls, right? I cannot say that the nearsighted people are not opening up. A lot of times they're opening up quicker and more than
they used to. If they used to, if they make open, they get very open, and they are also very sensitive and sometimes vulnerable. Vulnerable,
vulnerable.
So that,
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So
yeah.
Charles Kelly also tells that it's like now you have to translate jonglieren mit rohen Eiern.
Juggling with raw eggs, with uncooked eggs, juggling. So
He said it's juggling like with uncooked eggs. If he worked with short-sighted people, it's a nice picture. I see myself a little bit in it. It's okay.
that's so interesting. So I'm so excited because you have, I don't know if you have anything else to share, but I would love to have your because you did this last time for us. You did this beautiful hypnosis session for us, and
I would like to do 2 steps. One step only sitting like we talked, and then meditation and a little bit trance, some questions. We start with a meditation. So first I would like, this headset is not so comfortable. I start with a short, it's not here, so we do it. We do it so without paper. Yeah, you see. So, okay, we do it without paper. So sit down and open your eyes first. Open your eyes, and this is the first step to be with the blur vision. So everybody who is in, 70 persons, maybe you are short-sighted, maybe
we have a lot
not.
on YouTube. We have a lot more on YouTube, so I'm watching that. So make sure. So let's do that. Start that clean again. So first thing, take the glasses off. Right? Take your glasses off if you have glasses on. Right?
Yes. Take your glasses off. Equal if you're short or far-sighted. Take your glasses off and look what comes up if you sit here And you breathe. And you look around. And maybe you are not so short-sighted, and maybe there's not blur vision. But if there's blur vision, so please look at it, welcome it, and say, hello, it's interesting to be with you here. And take some deep breath and look around. And it's a little bit like discover the blurriness, discover it, and be aware of it. And let your eyes walk through the blurriness. And blink a little bit. Yes, that's fine. And you can do this sometimes, and you can feel what comes up. How do you feel? And you can close your eyes, and you can feel inside. And if you have a scale from 1 to 10, and 1 is not so happy, and in the middle 5 is a little bit happy, and 8 or 9 is very happy, then look, where are you now? And don't influence that. Take it like it is. It's fine. So if you close your eyes and feel, how do you feel? It's a 1, a 2, a 3, or 5, and everything is fine. The exercise is not to be at 7, 8. The exercise is to say, I feel now like a 1 or like a 5. There's a short story I want to tell you. When I was, I'm a teacher in firms, so I make lots of seminars in firms. And sometimes I have 2 teachings a day, and one is 3 hours, and afterwards a little break, and then again 3 hours, and always 14 people. And once a time when it's in Hanover in Germany, when I had the second group, I thought, oh no, again 14 people. Oh, I want to continue with the first group, with the first 14 people, not again 14 people. And I was not in a good mood. And the next time, it was the same. When I had the break, I thought, oh my God, now 14 people and again 14 people. And I make this exercise. I closed my eyes, I felt my feelings, and I recognized, okay, I have a 3 or a 2. I don't feel well with this, 2 groups. And when I felt it, and then I went back and I teach the second group with the 14 people, I felt very well because I recognized my own feelings. That was enough. It was not more to do. I had more power. I had more. It was okay to handle the next group because I felt my feelings. So you don't have to change it. It's good to take the feelings like they are and to say, okay, it's like this. It's fine. It's a little bit like be self-friend with yourself, like mindfulness. So take it like it is. So this was the first step. Claudia, can we do the meditation? Or are there questions?
I just see lots of comments on YouTube and I'm responding, but there is no questions right now. Everybody's agreeing that going slow is much better. And so yeah, that's basically it. No, feel free to start with the meditation.
Okay. Yeah. So you can take a good seat if you like. If you're at home and you like to sit on the bottom, it's very good, like in a yoga seat. If you like to sit on a chair, it's also fine. So you can close your eyes, or maybe at the beginning you can open your eyes. So you first look around, you sit on the floor or on the chair, and you feel your points where you have contact to the surface of the chair. And you notice the sounds, you notice my voice, and you look around and you see your surrounding. And you feel your body and you feel your posture. And you can release unnecessary tension in your neck. So you can release it, your jaw, your throat, and your shoulders. And you can let go everything through your spine. And bring your attention to your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. And you bring your attention to the rising and falling of your lungs when you breathe in and you breathe out. And then close your eyes. There's nothing to do now. You don't have to reach anything. You don't have to do anything. And you can open a space inside into which your imagination can expand. And if you close your eyes, you can imagine a mountain, a huge mountain. And you can see the shape of the mountain. You can see the mountain in front of your inner eye, its shape, its rising peak. And you can look at the whole mountain. It's a nice mountain. It's your mountain. The mountain you like. And see how huge and how still and how wonderful the mountain looks. Whether you view the mountain from close up or from a distance. Perhaps the top of the mountain is covered with snow, or maybe you can see a forest on the mountain. Sit and breathe with the image of this mountain. And then when you feel ready, try to put the mountain into your own body so that you, seated body, and the mountain become one in your mind's eye. So the body becomes the towering peak, the shoulder and arms becomes the flanks of the mountain, and your pelvis becomes the solid base of the mountain. And the spine rises up like a peak. So you become a breathing mountain, resting in stillness beyond words and thoughts, a wonderful presence. And if you are the mountain just sits there all day. As the sun moves across the sky, light and shadow pass by, or the changing colors of the sun. From moment to moment, everything is changing around the mountain, and the mountain remains still. It's like our feelings. Our feelings are like the weather, like rain, snow, clouds which cover the mountain, And maybe you are sitting in the clouds of the mountain. But you can just sit and wait. And if you wait, maybe other feelings will arise again. Sunshine will follow. And the fog may maybe move away. But perhaps there is afterwards storm will arise, and maybe lots of wind. So the weather and the feelings are constantly changing. Let everything be there. The sunny days, the rainy days, the cloudy days. Sometimes the mountain is shaken by violent storms and strong winds, but you sit there still as a mountain. A mountain don't move and don't act. It's like the weather is passing by, and this is the same with the feelings that they pass by. And nothing frightens you. You cannot change the weather or the seasons. It is like it is. And in exactly the same way, you can accept your blurriness. So always take time to make contact with your blur vision, the clouds, the fog. Let it be there. Welcome to the blur instead of fighting it. Invite it to be there and listen to what it tells you. That's all you need to do. The moment you explore, investigate, and welcome your blurriness, your vision will become clearer and your path easier because you are not longer fighting against it. And now I have some more questions for you. If you are now this strong mountain, I want to ask you some questions. And these questions, they have to do with better vision. So in what way do you really want to change your vision? You don't have to think about it. Let come all that comes up what will come. I repeat it, in what way do you really want to change your vision? And can you be without your glasses? Can you imagine meditation with the blur? Do you want to try it? To stay with it? And what gets space when the blurriness is not longer there? How would it feel if the positive changes happened right now, at this moment? What do you mean? How is your posture, your facial expression? How do you move if there is totally clear sight? And in what way would your life will change if you could see completely clear without glasses? What kind of person are you without the blurriness? And you can stay with it, and maybe some pictures comes up, and you can see yourself. What kind of person are you without the blurriness? What kind of person, if you can handle your feelings and talk about it? And how do others recognize that? That you now a person with clear vision? What is the difference to before? And what is the difference when you see clearly? A little difference between the blurriness and the clear person. Maybe you have a little bit more power, energy, self-confident. I don't know. Maybe something else. Which parts of yourself comes more out then if the blurriness moves away? And you can go with this question now or later or during the night. Maybe you have an interesting dream. Maybe tomorrow there's, I have an idea. Something comes to you. And if you like, you can hear these questions again and again and take your time. Or you take one question and go with it for a while. Yes, that's my invitation. And then you come back slowly and you can stretch a little bit and you take all the interesting pictures, feelings, whatever comes up in the meditation with you, and you come more and more back. If I call to 1, 2, stretching again and yawning, and 3, very awaken and very fresh, back in the present. Okay.
Was amazing, Judith. Beautiful meditation. And I'm looking on YouTube right now. There is no questions, but yeah, that was so wonderful. Thank you so much.
What a great idea. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking. There were lots of questions on YouTube, but before you began, so I think everybody is still kind of slowly opening their eyes, and so we have to give it a little bit of time. I think it's so powerful to really connect with those emotions and just kind of what you just shared with us. What do you want, right? What are you actually asking for to receive in terms of improved vision? It's easy to say, I want to see 20/20 vision.
No, but it's very there is no feeling in it. No, no feeling.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I always ask more if somebody say to me, I want to see without glasses, I want 20/20. I say, and what's that? How do you feel then? Because there's really a change in the personality if you change your vision. And this is the big step.
Absolutely. And there's absolutely no way to not address those feelings, right? Because the feelings, right, and from my experience, are the feelings that got you into glass in the first place. So they created that blur. And unless you actually face them with a welcoming, accepting way, there's no way. If you just fight them, nothing will happen. So I think this is a lot of times when people think exercises.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Sure. I think the first step is the blurriness. The next step is to accept it and again and again, and not only one time. And then the next step is exercising, because And this is the first, the starting point. The blurriness is the starting point. And I know that in my further, when I get a vision trainer, I learned with the Kelly work. And it was really important to show up also if you feel very unsecured, to show that you are very unsecured. It was the strongest thing in my education. It's really good to show up also if you are very unsecure, or to show your unsecureness, because we are all human beings.
You mean insecure when you're not insecure, when you're not feeling confident, when you feel like you
insecure,
can't
not insecure. Yeah. Because this is really, it's human being, and everybody is warm to you, not if you in your job and with your chief, but in friendships or in moments when you don't know what's going on. So then tell the others, I'm not
vulnerable, being
comfortable,
vulnerable.
and also I'm vulnerable. Yes, and communicate that. Mm-hmm.
Share. It's, again, it's like depending on our background, our education, our parents, our childhood, home, our schooling. Like I said, in Germany, we are, I'm from Northern Germany, which is even more, like when the weather is harsher, and it's like, they're not like mean, but just in a way, like people are not necessarily very talkative and friendly. And so I think it's the own inner work with the feelings and really connecting with the world. And just like you said, how do you see yourself? Because with vision, I don't know what you did, but I hear all the time, a lot of times from my nearsighted people, I want to recognize my friends across the street, or I want to see facial expression. So a lot of times it is about that social aspect. And yes, it's also about driving and finding things and to the bus, but it's also about our social connection with other people. And there is this kind of guard, right? And but with your best friends, practicing that, what you just shared with us, like practicing being more vulnerable and showing up. And even for the vision improvement work, so this is actually a good question here. So somebody was sharing on YouTube, I've bought so many glasses for near reading, and I'm sad to say I'm very sad with the results. So kind of, with an emoji, like bawling the eyes, like just crying like rivers of tears. So staying with that. And we have, and I don't know, this is more like a statement than a question to you, Judith, but in our Western society, we set a goal, right, in business when we at work, and then we are working on accomplishing the goal. And with vision improvement, I encourage my clients also to have a goal, but to be really connected with that emotionally. And sometimes making adjustments on how fast it goes. It might go quicker, it might take longer, and really showing up even when things are challenging, and especially when things are challenging, right? And anything you want to add?
Yeah, you're right. Yes. And maybe to the end, a good story. Peter Grunwald. He sometimes told his story. He was very short-sighted.
Yeah, mine is 10, right? Mine is 10. He was super, super strongly nearsighted.
Yeah, and he played in a team of volleyball. It's a special game. There's 2 fields. And nobody wanted to play with him because he put off his glasses and he played with volleyball, a special ball game.
Volleyball
game. And nobody wanted to have him in his team because he was so badly, because he couldn't see anything. But he was going through. Yeah, he said, okay, but I want to go without glasses. He played very bad. And I think sometimes it's also difficult to show up with such a bad eyesight and say, but I want to, and the others have to take it. Also, if they don't want, or if they say, hey, take off your glasses or go to a doctor. No, I don't want. I want to improve my vision. It's also sometimes difficult.
You probably get a lot of advice. And I think this is where the confidence and the determination and really being clear about your own emotions and what you really want. Because when we have that, don't you find it then easy to, like what Peter was determined, then you don't let people making fun of you deter you. But if you're like not really sure, then, you know, it could just be one person saying, oh, what are you thinking? That's not possible, you know, or your eye doctor being mean to you or saying, what are you, you know? I have one more question on YouTube before we come to, actually, there's a couple. Susie wants to know, how long does it take for you to go from the -5 to clarity? And Judith did say in the beginning that she still uses glasses for extreme far distance, but how long did it take you to see those improvements where you are basically able to function most of the day?
You mean in former times when I start vision cloning? Yeah, it was very short. Also, the big steps, they are mostly at the beginning, is my opinion. The big steps are mostly at the beginning, so I make really big steps, and then it's getting a little shorter. So this is my experience also with clients. I don't know if it's your experience also. Also at the beginning, but it is just like it was such an present for me that somebody told me I can do something with my eyes. So I bought books, I went in courses, I made immediately my further education, and I give everything from me inside. So it's not, I do one exercise and I want that it helps. And my further education was also very close to feelings. It was really to show up, to take away your mask and you show how you are. And I think this is a really great possibility to see more clear.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's, you know, it's almost like what you said, there is a mask when we have glasses. And I always point out the distortion, right? When you're nearsighted, you see that through the glasses, how the face is distorted, or farsighted the other way with magnifying glasses. And there's a distortion in what you see. And initially, when you take it off, it feels weird, but then you realize that's really the truth, right? And I agree with you that a lot of times the quick improvements happen in the beginning, because just doing the basic foundational practices is already such a change to just abusing your eyes. And then you get to the emotional level, right? So a lot of times, let's say you started as a child with an, I don't know, -2 or a -1, that last little bit is what got you into the blur. That's where there's absolutely no way to progress without really doing the work that you're so great at teaching. You did the emotional work, like really connecting with that, with those feelings.
Yes, and be friendly to it, so that I told you my story. I was always the youngest, and I was, oh, where are the others? And now they are away. And one time they let me sitting in the train, and they went out, and they don't come back. And and there was all the package, and I was alone. So such things, I think they influence you, and so be hurtful with that experience.
Yeah, be really connecting. So thank you so much. We're out of time. This was amazing. And thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's late for you there in Germany, and appreciate you. And everybody can watch this again and, you know, listen to the meditative part. That was really beautiful. Thank you, Judith. And we're going to have a little mini separate chat here in the Clear Vision Club on Zoom. Goodbye, YouTube. I see you guys on YouTube next year. And make sure to follow. So Judith, basically, I think all you teach everything in German, right? So there is people that want to follow, work with you in German. Okay.
Yes, so can come in contact. I do one-to-one sessions. Yes. And
okay. We've listed all your information in the show notes under the YouTube video. But yeah, I think you only work in German language, correct? So like unless somebody.
Oh no, I sometimes I give lessons in English. I'm not so bad in it. It's more easier than do a podcast because it's more my language, so it's very easy.
Yeah.
The words are well known, and that's also fine. It's also possible. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. So yeah, connect with Judith. She also has a great YouTube channel. Subscribe to that channel. And nowadays, with all the fancy tools, we can translate everything also, which makes it so much easier than back in the day, right? When we had to get out the dictionary or
And
not
have
the
fun with your blurriness.
Yes, enjoy your blurriness.